Good afternoon, everybody. Sunday afternoon spinning, just Sunday afternoon chilling. My goodness, I can see my camera there. Didn't realize that. Not going to move that right now. You probably didn't even notice anyway, did you? You can see this wonderful box of fluff. That is what I worked on last stream and finished up while I was relaxing yesterday afternoon, evening. Gulf Coast locks, and haven't spun any of the locks yet from this. So that's everything that I got from the 8 ounces taken as a lock and combed with a dog comb. So that's what I'm going to be spinning here in a little bit. How is everybody? We just got sunshine after 2 days of gloom and rain and a little bit chilly still. We're going to get warmer and warmer as the week goes on. This is a big week where I lived. I won't be personally involved in any of it, but Louisville, Kentucky, which is the town near me, has a momentous event on the first Saturday of May called the Kentucky Derby. And of course, that's on television if you don't happen to be in the area. They completely did not have any they had the races, but they did not have anybody in the stands, any people observing it. Guess I can't think of the word I want. But anyway, this year they have sold tickets and spaced everybody out, and everybody gets a chance to do their dress up, wear their hat, and just in general try to feel like the world is back to having a little bit of fun again. In the meantime, there are a lot of things that happen. Going up to that, they have marathon where there's runners, they have balloon races, they had fireworks several weeks ago, just all sorts of little things. And when they actually had crowds allowed and gathering allowed, they had what was called a chow wagon, and that was always our favorite. Hubby and I would go to the chow wagon, and we would get a sandwich and a beer, and people watch and listen to music because they always had somebody playing on the bandstand, and watch. It was on the river, so we'd watch the boats go up and down the river. And if the weather was pleasant, it just was an amazing day out for very little cost, other than what you wanted to eat and drink. And of course, they had other food. I mean, the food was like fair food, where you don't get the fried Twinkies anywhere else, right? It's that kind of deal. So I'm not real fond of all that stuff, but it's a draw for other people. I generally get my brats. Yeah, that's what I like. But none of that this year, none of that last year, and looking forward to that happening again. But in the meantime, this week is on a gallop, and the whole city is abuzz, and the hotels are full finally, and they're all ecstatic, and that's newsworthy, and everybody, I hope, is staying safe. Helmy and I are. We're not going anywhere. I'm going to PT Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's an hour. And we may run a few errands, like drop bills into the mailbox thing, and that kind of thing after that. But the rest of it is still safely here at home. I only have 2 more weeks. Well, a little bit longer than that. 2.5 weeks before I see my doctor, who that point should be my release date as far as you can drive again, knee looks good, probably not feeling as good as you want it, but it's going to get there, and it's definitely on its way. So looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that. All right. Let me go to see what, there we go. Looks like that's pretty good. Now you can no longer see the box of fiber, unfortunately. I wonder if I can scooch that in a little bit somehow. Now that I'm sitting down, I can put it in place. I know that this is kind of weird to have it in a box, but it doesn't smoosh it or anything. You would never know that it was a lock, right? It just looks like a puff now. But when you take the lock and you comb it this way and then turn around and comb it this way, that's what you get. And this is called lock spinning. This is going to be called lock spinning. On my electric, the Roberta. And we'll just get going. There really should be no difference in how this spins from the top that I combed with hand combs. Going to spin exactly the same, going to look like the same kind of single. It should be smooth, it should be tightly spun. It's called a worsted spin. Everything is pulled and very linear. It's a pinch and pull type of drafting. So there really is nothing different about it, with the exception that with lock spinning, you throw away your waste before you sit at your spinning wheel, because the comb catches it and it's not there anymore, and so you spin the whole lock. It just completely goes away. Now I can tell the tip from the cut end because of the coloration. So this is yellower to me, and you can kind of see that a little bit there. That is the only way I can tell that I'm putting the tip forward. A lot of people recommend that you spin locks tip to butt, tip to cut end, but I don't always make it a point to do that. If I can tell, I will. If I can't tell, truthfully, I've never seen that it makes a difference. The whole reason they say that is because it's wool. The wool individual fiber has a scale on it, right? And that scale is just overlaying the shaft of the wool fiber. And you are talking microscopic here now, but the point is, if you go, they lay down naturally, tip to skin. And if you go the other direction, you're liable to be pushing the scales up, making it technically a little fluffier, bumpier, whatever. Don't, as I said, since it's microscopic, I don't see a difference when you get to spinning it on this level. It'd be pretty hard to see it with your eye, right? It's a microscopic thing. I usually hold one or two locks together, and then I have to stop the spinning wheel and grab another couple locks. Like that. Now I'll take the time to move my thing up a little bit. Sometimes I get where I have purposely combed a lot of locks together, so they look like this. I will start at this point right here and just spin right down along the top there. If people come by and chat, I will be a little more verbal and enthusiastic. If not, I'm pretty tired today. I'm having difficulty sleeping. Just can't find a non-pain-free way to sleep. And of course what happens is I sleep, but then the pain wakes me up. And so I don't sleep hard, I don't sleep good, I don't sleep long, and I have difficulty once I'm awake getting back to sleep. So I am not getting the sleep I need right now. I can always, and the reason I say that is I think you're going to hear that in my voice. I can always hear it in my mom's voice when I talk to her. I can always hear when she's just very, very tired and, has had a very tiring day. So I figure people can probably hear it in my voice too. I have no idea how long it'll take me to spin this box of locks. I am ready to be done with this project. I'm not quite done processing. Everything that's left over from the waste of combing is in a bag for me to run a couple very rustic drum carder bats that I will spin into a chunky yarn I can use for something that I have no idea what for, but I can use it for something. Right, I'm going to increase that and that just a little bit. Takes me a little bit to figure out exactly what kind of setting pull in I want. This hand processing is an extremely time-consuming process. You have to be patient and enjoy the process, right? You have to enjoy seeing the fiber changing in your hands with the tool that you're using. Otherwise, you're just not going to have the patience to sit and do it like it needs. And I did this over several. I did a little bit over the first stream that I've done. This is my third stream with the Gulf Coast. So, first one I did a few locks just to show how. The second one I did a good amount of them, and then the last of the hand comb and the locks, probably from about an ounce of fiber I did while I was sitting yesterday. Could do it with my feet propped up, so that felt good. towel on my lap because I still am getting hay falling out of this, which is good. I'm glad. I really don't want it going in the single, but I didn't want to get it on the slacks I'm wearing today. The bobbin that you see right here is the top that I spun so far. I have a little bit more to add to it. Each bobbin has been processed a different way, but it really doesn't matter if I combine them as a 2-ply, which is what I intend to do. When you're spinning from a lock, you can draft pretty thin so that your single is pretty thin. I've got hot water today. It tastes pretty good to me. Don't need to have tea or coffee. Uh-oh. Bad join. Let's try that again. That is a disadvantage of spinning a lock. There are many joins. If you're not comfortable joining to continue to spin from one section of fiber to another, Good way to practice. Alright, my bobbin sounds like it's galloping. I'm sure that'll settle down here in a bit, but still. What you doing that for, huh? Well, I'm getting a little frustrated with this bobbin not shutting up here. What can I do? What else can I do? Break time. Ooh. Hi, Running Eggs. Had a pretty good weekend. How about yourself? That's okay. You enjoy the lurking. But thank you for stopping by to say hi. And I had a pretty good weekend. We are finally getting non-rainy and sun weather, so we'll take that into the first part of next week, which will be fine. I don't mind a rainy day though. You know, I kind of like rainy days once in a while. Hubby was moping around because it was raining. I said, "Don't you enjoy just having a day where you can just say, whatever, I'm not doing nothing?" Oh no, it snowed. Oh, yeah, well, we had snow the first part of last week too, but so that was unexpected also. It snowed a lot of places they didn't expect to get snow. It probably didn't last long though, right? It probably just was like, oh, we got to deal with this yet again. And then it was gone. I think it's easier to nap on rainy days too. I took a nap yesterday and I didn't today. I think it's easier when it's rainy and you can get under a blanket and just kind of snooze away a little bit. I keep grabbing bigger and bigger handfuls. I'm getting pushing here. Get done. I have found that about an hour and a half is what I can do sitting in this chair and spinning. It has nothing to do with the treadle, no treadle. It really has everything to do with sitting with the knee bent. So, usually an hour and a half is my limit. It's going to take a couple months to get back to not feeling that bend on the knee. I shouldn't be noticing it in the summertime, by the summertime. And I know my left knee is, it was done 2 years ago, and I mean, I can't tell it from a normal knee, a regular knee at all. It never hurts bending it or anything. So it does all heal up and get all better eventually. Just takes time. Oh, these locks are kind of messy. A lot of straightness to them. There's not a lot of straightness to them. I was watching a very old black and white night before last, I don't remember, set in the Kentucky, Tennessee area in the right before World War One. And, I mean, these people lived by farming and raising their chickens and cows and milk and, all that by hand. And they had a great wheel in it. And the woman she was spinning on it. At least what you could see, she was holding wool and drafting it out, and the wheel was going around. Now, I really couldn't see a spindle, which you should be able to see so you could see the yarn wrapping on it. So they may have cheated and just had it. It kind of, see, the thing was, she was sitting down at it, and you don't sit down at great wheels, right? So they took some poetic license with it, but still, it was pretty neat to see the great wheel and somebody spinning on it. Another scene they showed, a couple of young teenage girls gossiping. They got together and gossiping, but their job was to wind wool. They were winding it. They were making balls out of it. I have no idea what the film was. Totally something I've never seen before. Not one of your classics. My apologies. I told you all I was very tired today. Can't stop yawning. Really not quite sitting right here, unfortunately. Just not hitting my back right. That's because on a treadle machine I can lean back. This chair does lean too far back. I mean, for a desk chair or whatever, I really shouldn't be sitting this way. I'm not accustomed to sitting anything but straight, my back straight. And if I don't have a support behind it, of course I feel it. So, this is not really my spinning chair. My spinning chair is in the living room and will not fit in this spot, so I haven't brought it in here. I have no explanation for why, but the yarn, the single that I spin from Locks, is usually a little rougher, coarser. It's not quite as soft as what I spin from Top that I combed. Now, it's both a combing process. It both straightens the fiber. It's both spinning worsted, which means, you know, the fibers are aligned and I'm putting a lot of twist and making a very smooth yarn, tightly spun smooth yarn. But there is just more softness to what I spin from Top than there is from a Lock, and that's true of any fiber that I have decided to spin both ways, Lock and Top, like I did this one. So it has to do with the drafting of the fibers into the drafting zone and what exactly gets in there, and but I don't know why it's that much different of a drafting, but it is. I may be getting minute amounts of rougher uh, or second cuts or what or something like that from the using the dog comb, which doesn't remove as much as the hand combs do. That could be part of it. Just hard telling. Sorry about that. I think my mic was probably okay, but I moved it when that bobbin was rattling so bad. I moved the mic. I moved it back now. Oops. That's not going to work. You come off of there. There we go. Boy, if I had more stamina, I would definitely get this all done in 2 hours. Maybe I should take a walk break. That might help a little bit. Okay. I'm going to put the Be Right Back on here for a few minutes. I am going to mute my mic and I will be back. I'm going to just stand up, stretch, walk good, see if I can walk a little bit more time sitting here into my leg. I'll be back. I'm going to put a link here. I was just curious about the Maryland sheep and wool. Whether they were going to hold a live festival or do virtual again like they did last year. And it is next Saturday and Sunday, virtual. How do you spell that? Virtual. I guess that's right. There you go. Hopefully that works. If I hit enter. This was something I did last year because it was virtual last year. It was awesome. There's like 600 vendors. They don't all have websites. Some of them use Facebook pages, and that's kind of a hard thing to do. I don't know about. I'm going to talk to a couple streamers and see if there's a problem with you connect to a game. Problem with connecting to what you're searching on the internet and going to the Fiber Fair, like we were going to the Fiber Fair together. It'd be fun, but I don't know if I can work it out or not, and whether there's a problem with that or not. Anyway, let me get back to I'm still thinking about the festival. I'm going to get to go shopping next Saturday and Sunday, and guess what? Saturday's my birthday. Cha-ching. Birthday shopping. Gonna be a good thing. Gonna be a good thing. Let me see if I got this camera out of skew here too much. Maybe I can get my chair a little better situated. And maybe we can get this fiber finished. I'm so close. So close. I hear a lawnmower. I hope the heck that isn't my husband. I mean, it rained yesterday, like a lot. I can't imagine he can mow. I figured it'd be too wet, but that's his problem if he gets it stuck. I don't know if as a housekeeper you have one particular task that you find satisfying to do, you don't really mind the time or whatever, and feel very rewarded when it's done. And none of us, most of the time housework doesn't come under that same sentence as rewarding. But I have known various housekeepers who say that they find things like getting the ironing done, or things like, having the kitchen counter all cleaned of dishes and everything. I don't think it usually involves cleaning the bathroom or running the sweeper, to be honest with you. But here is where I was going with that. When you know and understand that feeling of satisfaction on the completion of a task like that, I will tell you that mowing is something that both my husband and I have that feeling about. Neither one of us mind mowing. Neither one of us will say, oh, no, I'm just not going to do that today, or, I'm not in the mood to do that. And most of the time what happens is that's the task that gets picked, right, as opposed to some of the other ones that need to be done, like weeding or things that you don't like to do. We'll both go for the mowing because we both like mowing. Now, mowing is on a riding mower, so it's not strenuous. You got to pay attention. You got to steer and drive and that sort of thing. And you go in set patterns, but every time you mow a certain area, you mow a different way, maybe, right? The pattern will be set for the area when you're mowing that particular time, but you won't necessarily mow it the same way every time, right? So there's diversity. You get to ride along as a passenger almost and look at things. Oh, look, that tree is out in leaf now, or the corn is putting silk out, or oh, neighbors' kids threw a ball into our yard up here. Better return that. It just you tend to be an observer of your land, and I've always liked that too. I ride along the fence line, and sometimes my neighbor's cows stand there and watch me, like, what are you doing? Isn't that something you're supposed to eat? I will be limited on the mowing this year. It is going to fall all on my husband until probably August. Um, but, you know, I did all the mowing last year while he did some of the outside maintenance jobs on the house. So it is his turn, technically. We probably mow acre and a half. It's not all one big lump in big square, right? It's all various and sundry sections with various and sundry different kinds of grass. It's all pasture grass, basically. Some of it is a little bit more like your suburban grass, and some of it is a little bit more like a true field, not even a pasture you'd graze on. More weeds, in other words. Anything though that is cuttable by the riding mower, we keep cut down. And trust me, you need to mow quite frequently, especially in the spring. You, when you mow as much as we do, you pretty much do it in sections, a certain amount a day, and you just rotate and maybe have a day or two off, and then you start again. So it's a big part of our summer out here on our acreage. Hi. How you doing, Karen's mom? Good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. I'm trying to put your you've been doing live. I'm trying to figure your comment out though. Can you what did I say that triggered that comment? Oh, they're play toys. I got it. Got it. Yeah, this went right across the street, so it was just across the street. But yes, I agree. Our neighbors are quite far away, and it's unusual when a kid's ball gets over this way. I got it now. I just had to remember. Yeah. Most of the time we're looking at on one side woods, or on a couple sides woods, and then a field that has cows in it, and at the very top of the lot is the main road. And that's our neighbor sits across, and that's where his grandkids, if they're over, may lose a ball across the road. I guess they're not allowed to go across and get it. Or they didn't know it went that way. Yes, we have the front part of in front of our house is a field, and it's corn. It was corn last year, It can be soybeans. It's never cows. It's either corn or soybeans. Because there's no fencing, so they would never run cattle in it. We rent that out to a local farmer, so we don't have the problem of figuring out how to keep it mowed. We don't have the because it's plowed up, and we don't have the problem of figuring out how to plow it up or anything like that. The farmer does it, so it works out good. Doing life, I like that. Yeah. It's so nice when people come back I haven't seen for a while. I like that. It makes me feel like, life goes on, but there it stays the same too. I'm spinning locks of wool that I combed with a dog comb. That's what these puffs of fiber are. You're knitting socks for another streamer's wife. Her birthday is late May. I'm trading them for handmade soap. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Since there's no real way to, you have to shop online anyway. That's an interesting, really, that's very interesting because it just dawned on me. Okay, so you go to a fiber fair, you go to any fair, crafts fair, and it's not as easy to do the trade, the barter. And a lot of people like to barter for their stuff, But you can work that out easier online. My opinion. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Hi, Veggie. How are you today, Veggie? You having a nice, relaxing Sunday? I am mostly. I didn't do much today. I took care of some paperwork, but that was all. put the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival link up there at the. Hopefully, it'll disappear here pretty soon. But they're doing a virtual. Their Fiber Fair is virtual. It's this coming Saturday and Sunday. I did do that last year, and enjoyed it. Now I wasn't having the difficulty sitting that I'm having right now, so I'll have to do it on my laptop instead of the nice big computer. But it was really, really neat because of having all the vendors that did have a a regular store or website set up that they could sell on. Some of them were Facebook pages only and not set up for selling. You had to contact them if you really wanted something or something like that. But it still was really fun. I have never been to that Fiber Festival. I really want to go. It's quite a distance to go from Kentucky. But I will get there eventually because now that I'm retired, it's on my to-do list. And of course, COVID has gotten in the way of that, but maybe next year. So, I am looking forward to doing some virtual shopping next weekend. Maybe having some squishy packages coming. That would be good. I will say last year I didn't buy much. I just did a lot of looking because I had bought a lot of fiber from a lot of other vendors for the 52 Weeks of Sheep. I did look for some of the fibers that I didn't have yet, but they really were the hard ones to get, so I didn't find them at the Maryland. Still, it's fun since we can't go shop anyway. You went once. Oh, yeah, you were in Virginia. That's not so bad. That's okay. You don't have to clean. I said so. It was amazing and unseasonably hot that year. Oh, hi. Hi, Tentel. This is an electric spinner. It's a Roberta Ertel. Um, Eortel out of New Zealand, I think, and they've been around for 20 years. Okay, I've had this one. Let's see, 15. I've had this one 15 years. So I know the thing is now everybody's getting into the little tiny mini spinners. This one is portable though. I have a box that it'll fit in. I do need an electric source, but I can plug it to a little battery thing also. If it has like you take camping in order to run your lanterns and stuff, I can plug it into that. Very good workhorse. Just very good production spinner. The extra mystery fiber showed up for the blending board. Can't wait for it to be safe to go to the festivals again. I may get to one day. Yeah. It was very hot reminds me, I went to the Allegan, which is in Michigan, way in the north, Michigan, Fiber Festival. And that was in August. And it's the tip of Michigan, and we were dripping. It was so hot. Not what I expected. I thought, oh, it's August, it's Michigan, it's northern Michigan, it won't be bad. It was bad. Go in those sheep barns. Oh man, it was hot. The other thing that's hot like that here near me is our state fair is always in August, and of course we're way further south in the tip of Michigan, and fortunately the animals are in air-conditioned barns now, but that's somewhat recent that they would air condition the buildings for the animals, because I remember some really hot fairs when I was showing rabbits, Angora rabbits. So, don't complain about the cold, because soon you'll be complaining about the heat, right? I'm just that way. I want it to be a perfect 78 degrees all the time. Nice sort of semi-vintage look to it. Well, that's because of this real wood. This is Australian wood or New Zealand wood. You know, this really dark wood. Um, so being made out of wood instead of 3D printed plastic, right? It does look kind of vintage. I get tired of wearing so many clothes trying to be warm, or having to move around and be busy in order to stay warm. You know, I want to be comfortable at whatever pace I'm working. Come on, you need to pull in some more. I am almost done, ladies. Look at this. I am almost done. That's it. That's what I have left to do. Um, of the locks that I combed. Then I have, this is left of the, what I pulled, top I pulled off of hand combs where I combed them. So that goes on this bobbin here. Very close to being done. It's still not pulling in as much as I like though. Come on. So, I just saw that veggie 78 is. Did I say 78? Did I say 78? I meant 68. I thought I said 68. But I'm very likely said 78. 78 is what my mother keeps it in Florida year round in her house. And her poor little uh, thermostat has to, no, she has to go switch it, right? Heat or air conditioning. But she's liable to have the heat on in the morning and the air conditioner on in the afternoon. 78, though, is too hot for me. I agree with Veggie on that. I misspoke if I said 78. I'll tell you, numbers, something that I did number wise like that. I was going through my checkbook, and twice, not once, but twice, I wrote down when I was writing bills, I wrote down the check number, wrote what it was, and for the amount, instead of what I actually wrote on the check, I wrote the check number again. So the check was 53.78. I wrote the in the amount area, I wrote $53.78. Now, on the actual check, it was right, whatever the bill was. I have no idea where my brain was on that one. I was like, what were you thinking? And to do it 2 different times. And the only reason I wasn't really catching it is because it was close to what the bill was, right? The amount of the bill was in the 50s. It's endlessly entertaining to get old, let me tell you. Just endlessly entertaining. Yeah, easy done. I can read a number and write it down with the digits swapped. Yeah. That's why we have checks that make copies. Well, it all comes out on the statement eventually, and you know, I don't worry about if I have to know how much money I got in the bank. I'll go check online, but to know how I actually spent it, that's a record keeping thing for maybe I'll use it later, maybe I won't. So I'm not as worried about it. Okay, happy walk. Veggie, I'll probably be gone. I'm not going to be on much longer. So have a good evening and see you around. Stay safe. My bobbin's filling fast. Well, this is it for this bobbin right here. And then this is going to go on there. I am going to apply these 2 bobbins together, but I'll probably have more of the top, this more on this bobbin, and I'll just self-ply it back on itself. I'm making 2-ply in any case. But what I had was 8 ounces of fiber, and I went through washed fiber of this Gulf Coast native wool, and I went through it and I pulled out the intact locks. Well, I got a lot more that wasn't intact locks, and that's what I put through the hand combs. And then everything that was waste from the hand combs is going to get drum carded on my drum carder into a big chunky bat that I'm going to make into a real bulky slubby yarn. This is what the locks look like when I got them. When I find them in the fiber and pull them out. Nice, just nice medium length, bouncy locks. Really, really nice wool. I like this wool. A rare breed. This was raised in Texas. So, but nice wool. I labeled this with a sticky note. What will I end up with? Oh, I'm guessing 13 to 14 wraps per inch. Depends how much it puffs up when I wash it. But it's spinning reasonably thin on the single. Tentel says, I haven't tried many breeds yet. Might try some new ones for turtle fleece. Yeah, if you can get a hold of some. Yeah. That's what I did all last year. It was called 52 Weeks of Sheep. So there was, I gotta change here. There was a lot. I mean, huge list of all these different breeds, and I just went online and started looking for them. And there are, of course, breeders who go ahead and breed for exactly that reason. They're raising the rare breeds for the Livestock Conservancy, for the Shave 'em to Save 'em program, that sort of thing. So you can find them. There's a lot of common breeds too. A lot of common breeds. All right, I am going to head out. Thank you for stopping by, everybody. I am almost up to 2 hours or more. It's getting there. It's getting there. And the knee just keeps getting better and better, so it won't be long. And in the meantime, I am still streaming 3 days a week. I'm sticking with this time of the day, the 3 o'clock in the afternoon, my time, really works good for me as far as how I feel and what I'm doing and all that sort of thing. I'm doing it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I may stream Saturday. It's my birthday, and so I may pop on then and may do that instead of Sunday. Seems just depends how I feel. So, everybody, you'll get a notice if I'm on. Come see me. Thank you, Tentel. I plan to have a good week. And Carowin's mom, thank you. All right, you all. Happy spinning.